So I'm gonna make a video here for your little cutie here, Mr. Murray. And then you've got one spot that you can go to review all of the material. So this first exercise that we're going over is called Relax on a Mat. And it's really the most important exercise that we go over because it is a behavior exercise, which in a nutshell will give Murray emotional intelligence and allow him to work through big emotions. So a great way to utilize this is just to go out front and do some relax on a mat, and then he'll be introduced to all the different stimulus that will be going on around you. So it might be bicycles, kids, garbage trucks, cars, all these different things that can be startling, and so we want our dog to be in a nice relaxed state, which is this. Lying down with our hips cocked out to the side and ideally resting our chin down on the mat. So that is perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. Let's give Mr. Murray just a second. Good, just like that, to plop his little chin down and get in this relaxed state. So I've had folks use this for plane rides, dog-friendly hotels, and initially we utilize this for fearful dogs and dogs that have aggression issues, and then just realize that every dog should have this tool in their toolbox. So a very, very powerful, impactful exercise, which again in a nutshell gives him emotional intelligence, gives him the ability to work through really big situations. So what this looks like, you just break out your mat. He'll get comfortable with whatever mat you utilize, and then I'm treating him when he's in his nice relaxed body posture. So you do it in an environment like this that's nice and easy peasy, and then start to introduce different environments. So we've done some relaxing on a mat in the front yard, and he's been able to be successful. So again, really impactful tool to allow your dog to work through big emotions. So can't say enough good things about it. Very, very crucial exercise. Here you go, bud. Right over here. Okay. There you go. So next, we're going to go over our clickable exercises. So that exercise, I usually do not use the clicker. I don't want our dogs to get excited. These are all clickable exercises. So I'm going to say, Murray, give him a click as soon as he makes eye contact. Murray, drag up towards my face. As soon as he makes eye contact, he's done what we're looking for. Then Murray, without dragging treats up towards my face. Murray. Good. And sometimes we're doing this, I like to stroke the fur out of his face so you can really see his eyes, make sure he's doing it for you. Then I like to take a treat, drag it out to the side. Murray, he's got to be able to come back and make eye contact even though he's interested in the treat out here. I'm going to take a treat, toss it on the ground. It's our last exercise on this one. Murray. And I want him to be able to be interested in the treat and then immediately make focus back in on me and be very attentive. So even though he's really interested in this treat over here, Murray, it's going to hone back in over here, which is great. We want to be able to focus on something else and then bam, turn around and look back at us. I always like to parlay that into some recall, so we worked a lot on our recall. So it's just simply, Murray, come. Buddy. Good job. Toss over here. Murray, come. Another thing you can do when you're fiddling with recall is take a treat, toss it around the corner over here, and Murray, come. He's got to try to come find you. So you can play with your wife or husband, have them run around corners, upstairs, and hide around the house, and have Mr. Murray come and find you. It's really great if he gets used to using an auditory response to track you down. So if you were hiking and Mr. Murray got off leash and doesn't know where you are, he'll be in the mode of trying to find you, and could be a really great safety mechanism. So, Murray, come, sit. Oh, let's see, room for him. Good. Murray, down. Oh. Murray, stay. So you'll notice right now we are, in those repetitions, I stayed facing him and just backed away from him. That's always going to be easier for our dogs. So if we want to test them and challenge them a bit more, we've been doing some of these exercises, which is Murray, stay. Where we turn away. So as soon as we turn away, it's going to be more challenging. Murray's going to be much more prone to want to run after us. So a really good exercise to do. And this is a really good one for utilizing impulse control for our dogs. So if we're going through doorways, you can ask Murray to give you a stay, and then wait to be let through doorways. Tell him to stay before he's let out of a car. And it really starts to get to where they are basically asking you please. So they'll sit there, stay, and then they're saying, please, can I do something? You say, yes, yes, you can go out of the car. Yes, you can go through the doorway. Yes, you can do whatever the skill is that you're, or activity is that you're asking him to follow you after. So anyway, really, really great exercise to cultivate that impulse control is a stay. Murray, touch. So this is a targeting exercise where we get Mr. Murray to come up and bump our hand with his nose. Murray, touch. And we've actually been utilizing this one quite a bit for his loose leash walking. So he gets real excited and distracted when he's out there walking. And so I simply put my hand down and I tell him touch. And then he's got to come back to this spot. And it gets him to where he focuses in and then gets him to this location, exactly where we're looking for him to be situated. So it's really great because it's just a simple way, just a simple boom, attention getter, and then this is where we're looking for you to be. I've had folks use it for a multitude of different things. So you can use it to get your dog up in the car, simply tell them touch, put your hand up. They jump up and touch your hand. And when you're out in public, you just want your dog's attention. I like to utilize the exercise. If I'm doing recall, sometimes a dog, I'll say, first I say Murray come, and then he gets in the mode where he gets 4 or 5 feet away, he's not all the way up, then I'll tell him touch, and get him to position himself exactly where you want him to be. You could utilize it for fun things, get him to go inside, outside your legs, simply by having him target. It's actually the beginning of agility training, just getting your dog to target, can get him to go inside, outside, poles, up ramps, all that good stuff. It's good stuff. They're simply following a target is how they're doing that. So conversely to that is a leave it. So I've got some treats in my hand here. Leave it. Good. And we're looking for that real definitive pullback. So as soon as he's interested in something, then I should be able to tell him leave it. We can also, we're practicing a bit with this. This is more challenging, but I can take some treats. Leave it. And he'll really back up. And so the way that I usually start to utilize that exercise, I'll put a little treats on the ground, make a little TB, leave it, make a little TB, and then start to make it a bit to where I'm just putting some treats down on the ground, as you saw in the earlier exercise. A little caveat on that is that we've utilized a drop it and a leave it interchangeably. So anytime that he's interested in something, I can tell him leave it. If he actually gets something in his mouth, I can tell him leave it as well. It's been really good, not a big chewer. So I don't really catch him with a lot of stuff in his mouth. However, if he does get something in his mouth, then we can tell him leave it and he'll let it out of his mouth. As well as just being interested in something that he shouldn't be interested in. Then you can tell him preemptively leave it as he's just garnering interest and he'll pull back. So just so you know, you don't have to differentiate a drop it from a leave it. So next I want to go over a space exercise. So with Mr. Murray, we want about a 2-foot bubble if he's approaching us. If he's going to want to jump, so I'd say space. He stops there. This is perfect. And I do some exercises from the front, some from behind. Murray, space. Very good. So you'll notice he's back there. Stopped, and he's giving me my little bubble. And on this one, I always like to treat them from the ground when we're working on this exercise so they get used to everything coming from down low. I don't want them to focus on anything up high because this is our anti-jumping exercise. So I like to utilize this. First thing when I come to the house, he's going to be prone to wanting to jump up on people. And anytime that you're prepared for it, you know that he's going to want to do it. So you've got people that are, they just came into your house. He's going to come barreling towards them. You can tell them space. You can do space for yourself. You can also do space for another person. So during our session, I will show you what that looks like, how to utilize it with another individual. But practice from the front, side, and back. So we'll try one from the side. Hurry. Space. Very good. So that's exactly what we're looking for. He just stops shy and gives us this nice little bubble around ourselves. That is exactly perfect. A way you can mess around with it a little bit is you can try to get him kind of wound up, get him excited. Murray, 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 Murray. Space. Good. And then he still has to do it. Try to make him as lively as possible. And conversely, if he's having a difficult time, then you do it as relaxed as possible and get into where he'll give you space when he's more apt to do it. So that is the skills that we've covered, except for loose leash walking. So what we're going to do next is get them all leashed up. Actually, so because he did so well, there's actually another exercise. We went over a door behavior, which is usually a little bit more advanced, but he did a great job. So we were able to cover that. We sign off, get the camera set up for door behavior, and then we'll go over our loose leash walking. So Mr. Murray is quite the champion. Yes, you are, sir.